Welcome to Paranormal XL podcast. As always, I am your host Gigi, and today we have special co-hosts joining us from Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers investigation crew out of Fife Lake, Michigan. Welcome, Daniel and Jamie. Yay!
Hello.
How you guys doing? Oh, cutting out a little bit. How you guys doing today?
Yeah, our Wi-Fi is not so well out here.
Gotcha. That happens a lot.
Here in the middle of nowhere.
That will definitely happen out in the middle of nowhere. So, first I want to hear a little bit about your guys' crew. Like how many you have, what got you started into it.
Well, what got us started into it was me. Well, I apologize for saying that.
Me.
I hired Jamie on 3 years back. I founded North Area Paranormal Society when I first started in the field. I was a part of 2 local teams here in the area, and it just didn't work out right, and I pretty much wanted to do my thing, learn for myself. I did 5 years of research before I got into the field or considered joining a team. So, started North Area Paranormal Society. I started out with my brother, my ex, and yeah, that didn't work well, but need to go there. My brother helped me find North Area Paranormal Society, and then, he got to working more, and I had to start finding people. And my first investigation was a client residential case, so right there, it was a successful investigation, and I hired on Jamie here, and Jamie, and I had an out-of-state case manager, Joe Zielinski, he's the team leader and founder of Through the Veil Investigations in York, Pennsylvania. So that's a pretty cool team there.
Yeah.
We talk a lot, and we're a family. We're a family. He's a great guy. Learned a lot from him, and pretty much from there I kind of stopped North Area Paranormal Society because I wanted to gain more knowledge. I told Jamie when I first brought her on to North Area Paranormal Society, it was pretty much an experiment. To see what it was like to be a team leader and to find a team and conduct paranormal investigations, like to build my knowledge pretty much. So I closed an APS, unfortunately, because I wanted to build my knowledge a little bit more in my studies. I joined another local team who guided me under their wing, brought me to where I needed to be, and I soon was ready to do my own thing again. I founded Capital Paranormal Investigations, and then Jamie, since then, you can explain the team you're a part of.
Well, I can go back to age 3 is what got me started, not necessarily you, my love.
No.
So my mom was Native American, and we lived in a haunted house. My dad's first wife was killed in a tragic car accident, and she refused to leave the house. So the canning jars would break, the curtains would fly open, doors would shut, and it would just be me and my mom. And I was 3 at the time. And my mom would just be like, "Oh, that's Betty, ignore her. She's just wanting our attention." And so it never was like taboo in our house to talk about, spirits and stuff like that. My mom always openly. And then when I was 3 and a half, almost 4, we went to Florida and I drowned. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I fell into a pool because I wanted to play and I was walking behind my parents. And so after that, Mom said that I became more in tune. She said I would just sit in the dark living room at night and with my dolls and just talk to people like they were. She's like, "I know you could see them and hear them because you were talking to them like they were your best friends." And it would creep my big brother out. So
I'm sure.
And then when I was like 11 and 12, I started going to cemeteries and checking out all the cool haunted locations in town. And
for sure.
So I've always been in it. I've just been with people that didn't allow me to be myself. And then and I was single again, and my son actually founded the job posting for the group, for doing Daniel's group.
Thanks, Kenny.
North Area Paranormal Society. And he's like, here, mom, why don't you do this? And so I applied and got on Daniel's team. And
you see, when I first started, mine was different. You see, I was part of the volunteer fire department here in Fife Lake Township for about 5 years. I just couldn't get by the state rank exam for firefighter 1 and 2, and then for my medical license, get my medical first responder license. I just couldn't get through the test that goes for my national registry. So it's like one of those things that was a dream of, because my dad retired as captain from Fife Lake Township Fire Department, and I wanted to fall under his shoes. I wanted to be in public safety, kind of like him. My grandfather is a retired police officer for the city of Taylor in Detroit, down near Detroit.
Yeah.
And it was like it's been one of those things. So I thought of, paranormal investigations. I remember a show. You might remember this. This is like back in the day, in like 2004. The day. MTV Fear.
Back in the day.
I thought the TV show of MTV's Fear. And it was like one of those things where I was a skeptic, and my buddy came up here from downstate, Robert Sanford. He came back up here from downstate, and he's like, "Hey man, me and my cousins were involved in a paranormal investigation. Let's take pictures in your house to see if it's haunted." And I'm like, "Dude, you ain't gonna find it." And yeah, I looked at him like he was an idiot. I was playing the video games. I said, "Here's a camera. Knock yourselves out."
Right.
And sure enough, they're like, "Dan, get your ass over here." Got to the computer, and sure enough, was the face of my room. Thought of that experience all my life, thinking how weird it was. My mouth hit the floor. I never believed in the paranormal. I mean, Zach Bagans' Ghost Adventures was starting out in TV, and like I said, MTV Fear was coming out. They were starting to get really big in TV with the paranormal and stuff.
Right.
But
yeah.
It's been one of those things. I was a skeptic, but wasn't.
Yes.
I always wanted to see what if there was something as of that. And that's why I did what I did. And like I said, I did a great way. Did research when I first started, but got the cold shoulder from a lot of things here.
Oh yeah.
It took me about a good 2 years. 5 years before. I was ready to join a team, but then again, it took me another whole year to even be a part of a local team.
Right.
But then I find out I was being trained the wrong way and had to start my own thing. We get new ones getting involved in the field all the time and tell them, do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Learn yourself. That's the only way you're going to be taught.
Yeah. A lot of people over the last year. When we merged, when Daniel and I's teams merged, I had an all-girl crew of 8. And he had a couple, but we had the problem of never having enough, even though I had reliability. Nobody wanted to show up.
Oh yeah.
So we merged, and then
the problem hiring on people that thinking that we're going to be getting paid for this. Wish.
So now we're down to 5 people right now. It's me and Daniel. Zach is our cameraman, Jake is still photographer, and Barbara is
Barbara McCann is our she's pretty much our most experienced one.
Okay.
She's been with us since the beginning. She's the only one left since the beginning. But
she was on my
we got 2 part-time members. My brother, one of them, Kelly Everson, and Heather Scriver. She's a part-time member of ours. They're pretty much a fill-in when they're needed.
Oh yeah.
We got Jake as our still photographer, so.
All right. I know I need to find us a cameraman. We all like to get out there and experience the stuff. Half the time we end up setting down our equipment or whatever just to take it all in.
Sometimes I have to run that camera myself because, there's certain angles that I want to have.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
It's one of those things where I want on pins and needles and broadcast and everything. And a lot of everybody don't realize that when we're in our broadcast live on Facebook and everything, Jamie and I kind of bump heads with each other sometimes too with the ideas that we want to have too. It's one of those things, but, we work things out together and,
So your guys' paranormal stories turned into a love story, didn't they?
Yes, it did.
Now, you knew I was going to bring that up.
Oh, yes. You too. You just got married here recently, too. Congratulations.
I did. Yay, I'm happy it's over. I know that sounds bad. I couldn't ask for a more perfect day, but the stress that goes into it, do not stress yourself out. I stressed only a week before, But 6 months up to it, I was told that I didn't care because I wasn't stressing out.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, no, you guys don't want me to stress.
To you. I don't think I can relate to you, but I was walking on eggshells before, worried about her finding out what I was going to do, what my plan was.
I knew what it was.
So Daniel and I, you heard that we were on a team together. We were on North Area Paranormal side together, and then he was with his ex, and I wasn't with anybody. Men were stupid at that point in my life, and
women were stupid at that point in my life too.
And so we after the fallout, because we did have a fallout when North Area Paranormal site closed, we had a period of 2 or 3 months where we did not even like each other. We had each other blocked.
Everybody was pissed off that I removed the group, and I did what I wanted to do, but like I said, it bettered me in the future. But I told her she'll thank me tomorrow.
And I called him up one day and told him, I miss you, and I did. I missed, because he was my best friend at one point.
Yeah.
And so we got back together as a group, and then we did some investigations together. We just kept we looked for reasons to spend more time together.
Pure Cheney was our first one. That was awesome.
Yep. He had a
Pure Cheney?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's the best place ever. That's a good one.
It's upsetting, though, with the story behind it, though, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But so he had a girlfriend at the time, and he was trying to be faithful to her because, he's a really loyal man. And so he had to, look for a reason to want her to break up with her, which was hard to find.
I had no reasons. It's just, one of those things that wasn't working out, and I had to make the choice. I did the right thing, but here I get false accusations against me that I cheated on her with Jamie, but I didn't do that. But, don't need to even go there. But
then we went to Parafest last year in Petoskey.
Okay.
That John Cassidy puts on. It's an awesome little venue that he's got going there.
Yeah.
And Daniel bought our tickets, and we went to Parafest, and we ended up having our first kiss that night. And
and the rest of it goes on from there.
So I think that's why he wanted to go to the Paracon.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask. No. You got to tell the listeners where you proposed at.
We proposed in the parking lot at MI Paracon. It wasn't the way that I wanted to do it, but Jamie says she's glad that it happened that way due to the fact that, she liked it private like that, because what I was going to do was do it involved in a paranormal investigation live and have some of my team members hide a antique box and find a little map to this antique box, and it was going to lead Jamie to it, and she was going to open it up to find the ring, and I was going to propose right there on the camera live, but it didn't work out that way.
Our team did an epic fail.
Yeah, the team did an epic fail, and I don't want to go there since then.
So that was actually the day that I got to meet you guys face to face.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a great day, too. We had a lot of fun. And my Paracon is awesome. For those tuning in, if you got a chance to go there next year, it's going to be awesome. What are they going to be doing next year? Is it like Roaring 20s?
Yeah.
Like that,
yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. This can be really cool.
It is. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Next year, we're hoping to have a better location set up because we talked to a local bar out there, and we might be able to get into a couple places up there and have like a little thing where a peer unity thing and invite a couple teams to come with us free just to investigate the location. The ones that cannot afford to go to the SS Valley camp or anything.
Right. There's so many places up there.
We love building education. We learn from each other.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
People thrive on competition and, we have the better equipment than you.
You can't do that.
We do things differently.
You're not going to get anywhere if you do that. You're going to stay right where you are.
Correct. So we do our own thing, and like I say, we support everybody.
Yes.
Even the ones that don't like us, we support them.
Oh, exactly. Because I'm having so much fun meeting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We learn from them.
Yes.
I've
met so many amazing people.
I got so starstruck at my Paracon that I forgot to keep taking pictures.
Oh, no.
When I finally I got Chip Kofi's autograph. When I finally got to meet him, I was just so teary-eyed that I couldn't even get a selfie with him, and I'm sure he would have, so.
Yeah, I got starstruck, too, because of Ghost Brothers.
Yeah.
We stayed at a hotel the night before, okay? And we watched them for like 8 hours straight on TV. And then, and I walk in and those are the first people I see. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be playing it cool. I'm like the leader, you know? I like start to hyperventilate and everything. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Jimmy's like, look behind you. Jimmy's like, look behind you, Daniel. Look behind you. I'm like, what? Who's behind me? It was Chris and Mike from Tennessee Ray Chasers. I'm like,
yeah.
I just about attacked him at the deli, so.
Yes, we got hugs from them, and I got a couple pictures with them.
You hear me?
What?
She said she about freaked out, and she ran, dropped everything, and dead run to them. No, I said, watch out, Chris.
I said, how can you not? And they're very nice guys.
Oh, they're awesome. They're great. They're great.
Super
great
nice.
Awesome.
I mean, it does help that never mind. Moving on. Let's get on.
Actually, John Cassidy hosts Little Traverse Bay Parafest, and this year Scott Porter is going to be up there.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got an opportunity of getting up here in the Petoskey,
it's October 13th.
It'd be a great event, and check and hit up John Cassidy from Bumps in the Night Paranormal there in Petoskey. They can hook you up.
And they do it in a haunted location too. The hotel they do it in is haunted.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, as a matter of fact.
Okay, so today's episode, besides all your guys' history, we're going to discuss urban legends. But why are we going to discuss this, guys?
Well, we are a part of a TV show. If you're all not familiar with Gavin Kelly, we are part of Truth or Legends in Your Hometown. It is a TV show that's going to be aired, and we're going to be on the first season, aired in May of 2020.
Yep.
And Jamie?
It's 28 teams in 34 states. And basically what we're doing is we're investigating anywhere from 4 to 8 locations that are supposed to be haunted. They're legends that are supposed to be haunted. And each team is to go investigate and determine whether it's a truth or whether it really is a legend.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we've got how many investigations so far? Five investigations so far in the books.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe we can explain a couple of locations that were quite interesting. I mean, we can't go into complete detail of what we experienced out there, but we're looking for Old Walton Cemetery.
Okay.
Quite an experience, I'm telling you. That place is just amazing. It's a local cemetery dated 1820s.
Oh, wow.
Walton Junction. It's an unincorporated town. It's abandoned. There's no original buildings left.
Okay.
The forest grew up. The forest literally grew through the cemetery. You can't even see the tombstones anymore. They replaced the tombstones and headstones with rocks.
Wow.
So
I've been researching Walton Junction now for 10 years plus. And my grandfather, he's told me stories about it because I was born and raised in this little small community.
Okay.
And back in the 1880s, it was a booming lumber town. I mean, you got the best lumberjacks the country has got to offer up here. The Indiana Grand Rapids Railway, Grand Rapids Indiana Railway came right through the heart of Walton Junction. So in between Grand Rapids and Traverse City, Walton Junction is like right dead in the center. A familiar individual, Ernest Hemingway, would come into Walton Junction, and he'd actually get his ass whooped in the saloons back in that time era. The way they would, I mean, there's a lot of things that we're finding out that, that just doesn't really meet the eye of what some of the history says. They say that there's no murders, but what if there was? Because, I mean, they say that the way they would do things back in that dime era, since there was lumberjacks, it was called hell at one time. They called Walton Junction hell for a reason. At night, when the saloon lights come on, you'd see people shutting their doors and closing their curtains at night, according to what stories are told. due to the fact that the saloons were open, and that's when the fights happened, brawls happened, and when they duked it out, they branded each other by stomping on their forehead. And we've had a couple investigations, I want to say, where a man committed suicide up in the upstairs bedroom, hung himself, and it was all due to a woman. He got in a fight that night, got branded, according to an ITC session we had. But that was on one of our cold case ones. That was not aired on Truth or Legends.
Okay.
But you're going to see a little bit of Walton Junction in there. And
okay.
An amazing place. Anybody in the para community's got a chance to get up here, we'd love to take you there. We got a few different locations out that way where it's on public land, and we don't need to gain access to it.
Right. Okay.
We've looked at Google Earth since then. It shows that Walton Junction is bigger than what I want to say it was even stated at one time. It was 200 plus people. Now it's down to a community, maybe 30.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
and this weekend coming up, we will be showing a live trailer of Truth or Legends, not on Facebook, but at the Paracon that we are hosting.
The only way you're able to see the trailer for Truth or Legends is by going to the Alpena District Library October 5th, this Saturday. We'll be there, and you'll get to see the trailer there. And it's the only way you're going to be able to see the trailer.
We'll be hosting with Mappet from Traverse City.
Okay, where is it at?
It's at the Alcona. Is it Alcona, Daniel?
Alcona District Library.
Yep.
In Alcona County. It would be in Harrison.
Yep.
All right, I will put that in show notes so people can see that, and I'll post that on my Facebook on the Facebook page too.
Yeah,
Harrisville branch. My bad.
So it's at the Alcona Public Library from 10 to noon, and then at the Alpena Public Library from 2 to 4 with an investigation following it.
Anybody have any questions or comments, about the event, they can contact us.
Okay.
And we have the contact information for the people that are putting on the Paranormal Minicon there. It's going to be a great event, and we're gonna have a table set up, and
it's the first annual, so we're excited.
We'll have uniforms.
For sure. What is your, let's say, favorite urban legend that you have heard of or know of in Michigan?
Oh, geez, in Pierre Cheney and Hell's Bridge, it's a hard one. I love witches, so that's my thing in Michigan.
Yeah.
We got so busy this year that we were going to go on a witch hunt this year. We were going to go to all the different locations in Michigan where there was known witches.
Come to my house, you'll find one.
Amy's head there, you can see her little
triple moon goddess.
Oh yeah, love it. I actually have my co-host is my stepmother. We have history of past lives of Salem witch trials. My dad actually just took her out there. I have a baby cauldron that they got for me from out in Salem. I was super jealous of her when she got to go, and I was mad, but I had to support her and tell her to have good fun.
Jamie's got ancestry that dates back Salem witch trials.
Yep. Yeah. That's awesome. Yay. So
we'll get those up there.
So you would say Pierre Cheney's your favorite?
I do, and here's a sad little tragic story that needs to be shared about Pierre Cheney. Pierre Cheney's wonderful. It's awesome. We had a great experience there. Mm-hmm. It rained, unfortunately, and every time we went to reschedule, it rained again. I mean, still investigated for 5 hours.
It's like something didn't want us there because they knew we would solve the mystery.
But while we were there, we took a break once, and we had our cars parked in the parking lot. And if anyone's ever been to Pierre Cheney, you know that there is no public traffic going by your vehicles out of
No, there's not. You two-track to get back there.
It's in the middle of nowhere in the woods.
We took down trees. We had to cut the trees down in the path on the way there because it was so bad. So when we were taking our break, Daniel found what on your car?
I found handprints.
And?
No, wait. Sorry.
Money.
Money. I found money in handprints.
Change in handprint.
Remind me to send you the picture that we got from out there, because we stopped there before and after Paracon. One of the pictures, when I got home to go through the pictures, you said handprint. I'll send it to you guys so you can see. You know what? I'll do it right now.
Awesome.
While we're talking. Urban legends.
So while we were investigating out there, we had a good sized team out there. We come across another team that came up on us. I was like, Daniel, I see 9 people. He's like, where? Like, he's thinking they're spirits. And I'm like, no, Daniel,
right?
Real life.
Sorry.
So the team came upon us, and it happened to be Northern Michigan Spirit Seekers from Anchor Inn.
Yeah, and they own the Anchor Inn there in Holt Lake, so it was fortunate that we met up with them, and we didn't even realize it was them. After the fact.
Yeah, so they were doing a fundraiser for the cemetery, for the township. They were giving ghost tours for the township and giving all the money back to the cemetery to restore it. And the township knew about it.
Wonderful.
The township knew about it, and they were supporting it. And then on their second to last night that they were doing it, they had 30 people with them. The township sent the police after them and wanted them arrested.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So we were going to go investigate Pierre Cheney for Truth or Legends, and I was like, wait a minute. I want to get permission because we're going to be there after. And I emailed the township. I emailed the board, and they both strongly rejected it. Like, mad. They were
because
mad.
we actually talked about that when we met up at Paracon.
Yeah.
You go at them grounds after dark. We will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
We were out there for 2 hours, probably 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. There was some teenagers out there.
What you do in the daytime, we don't care. You go in the night, we're going to arrest your ass.
It was the middle of the night that we went.
Wow, that's
what I said.
That's
I said, I'm scared because there was, we were quiet. We were respectful. There was only 4 of us. They clearly could tell what we were doing. You know what I mean? We weren't there partying or nothing. Now there was like this huge pickup truck that had like 8 teenagers in it out having teenager fun, but they ended up leaving when they saw us because they asked, like, are you guys like real life Ghostbusters? I was like, oh my God. I think it's past your guys' bedtime. But it was a good experience.
Yeah, that's my favorite place to go.
It is a great experience.
I didn't want to piss anybody off, so we just stayed away from it for now.
Well, most definitely, especially if you got a bunch of people going out there. It's different, if you kind of go out there in a smaller group, than a whole bunch of people out there. I sent you the picture, by the way, in that group message that we got. Do you see the hand?
So Jamie. Oh yeah! Oh wow! Yeah, I see that.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I looked at all the pictures when I get back. I don't normally look at them if we're still at the location or whatever. And I got home. I'm laying in bed one night. I'm going through, and I'm like, "What in the hell? What in the hell?" I sent it to my co-host. I'm like, "Mama Mary, look at this." She's like, "Oh my goodness!" And it sucked because she wasn't there with us, but. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But we ended up stopping back there during the day as well to get like daytime pictures and kind of walk around and stuff.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, my experience around here. I could say every one of them. But if I had to pick, oh man, it's tied with the Anchor Inn. And Traverse City Opera House.
Okay.
Traverse City Opera House is going to be on Truth or Legends, and it's one of those things where I just want to spill the beans with what we had captured, but in a live broadcast, you will witness. Well, if you watch the live broadcast on Facebook, you will witness me walking into the kitchen, and I'm not even by our motion alarm area. And because I was investigating a lot of bang that happened in there. It was like a bang, and we didn't know what it was. And went to investigate it. Well, I didn't walk in fully into the doorway. I walk out, and like 15 seconds later, the motion alarm went off. And didn't have any question on how or why it went off, because I was not anywhere near the area. And as many times as I tried, I was debunking it. After the broadcast shows clearly that I had no way of setting that alarm off. And it was an experience that I had. I mean, I had a similar experience at my grandma's house, but not like that. So.
And we don't truth or legends for that night.
Yeah. We're not even going to discuss on what Jamie saw that night, but Jamie, it's on video, and you will see it on Truth or Legends in May.
For sure. Now, why Hell's Bridge, Jamie?
The story behind it, I'm so fascinated because I've heard, oh my gosh, like probably 10 different myths about it. Uh-huh. First, I heard that this guy was volunteering as a volunteer for the kids' school trip, and that the teachers left a group of kids with this guy, and that this guy drugged them out into the woods and started killing them while he was watching them. And then the teachers and the principal and stuff, I mean, this you have to go back. This is not like recent kind of stuff. This is back in the early 1900s. And
mid 1800s.
Oh, is it mid 18?
Yes.
Yeah. See, there's so many legends out there. It goes from anything. So
for sure.
And they ran him down and lynched him, and that his spirit still lingers there, and that he's very mean and very evil, and that he resembles the devil when he gets mad at night, and you can hear the children screaming, and you can see and hear him, and so I'm pretty fascinated because I don't know the story, and I would like to go out there and get some answers.
You've never been out there?
Nope.
No. Well, when do you want to go?
Yeah, soon.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, we had it planned for our Halloween special to go on out there and around Halloween.
Okay. Yeah.
Halloween. So maybe it could be a great idea to go. I mean, I contacted Darren Dykehouse about it, see if he wanted to come out, and because he's been out there a couple times. So.
Yep, I've been out there once, never at night. It was kind of dusk when we went out there. It was cool because of going out there with the legend and stuff behind it. But if you guys go at nighttime, be super mindful. There is neighbors super close. It's almost like in their backyard.
Okay.
So
and it is nice. What's that? I'm sorry.
Is it on state land or is it?
It is. It's like public land, and then it's like instantly butted up to people's backyards. It's the river or the small river, creek, depending, I guess, how high the water wants to get.
It's not rocket science to figure out what's on private and what's state, right?
Oh, they have it
marked.
Yes, clearly
cool.
marked.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
It is very pretty out there. You'll miss it because there is no sign to it. You park, there's like a little parking area. It's all gravel, and then you follow the trail.
Here's a question for the host. Now,
wait, this isn't how this game goes.
when you've been out there, the legend states that you hear the devil's laughter at midnight. Is that true? Have you guys heard that?
I did not go at nighttime.
And
to be completely honest with you guys, that was my very first, I guess doing anything paranormal with becoming paranormalxl. That was my first adventure ever.
Awesome.
That's a great experience. You see, like I said, my first experience as a paranormal investigator was a client residential case.
Okay.
Which was a pretty great experience, I mean, because it was like one of those things where, I was invited by a resident that I lived down the road from. She knew about my paranormal team that I was just starting and everything, and like I said, I got a donation out of it, and I bought my first piece of equipment from Paratronics from Alan Whitmore out of that money. So I was happy because And I even showed her what I bought, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so excited! I built your team up like that." It was pretty cool, and I mean, we have an opportunity to go there, but it's unfortunate that the case isn't closed yet because I got to get permission from the property across from her and across the alley from her because it's a old Brower mortuary in Fife Lake, downtown Fife Lake, and you got to get permission from the owner of the property to do that. Yeah, but that would finish off the case because then I can, put what is ever on that property, simmer it down a little bit, because you can't get rid of everything on the property. You got to do what they want, whatever the lost wants. If they want to be freed, they can be freed. If they can't, you're just nothing you can do about it.
Right, you're gonna have to learn. But you can
simmer it down a little bit. But because like I said, we got clients that were living across from the alley there that's had some activity in their property, and like I said, that's how we had to end it, is because we said, there's going to be a paranormal activity until we can get into the mortuary, and we haven't been able to get in there. So,
wow.
Just got to build trust in the community. That's all. We've been doing it.
For sure.
Surely. It took me 5 years. It took us 5 years to get where we're at now with Fife Lake Township, and we just were part of the 4th of July parade. We're part of the celebration there. They wanted us to be a part of the Scarecrow Fest coming up here next month, but unfortunately, due to us behind on our filming for Truth or Legends and a lot of other things coming up, and we got some eye-popping news that's going to be coming out for us at Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers.
A location.
We're not discussing. It's a surprise.
Man, you guys are holding out so much.
It's in Michigan. I'm just going to tell you this. Ready? It's in Michigan. Only one team has investigated, and they are on the Travel Channel.
Okay.
We got the news when we were at the world's largest ghost hunt Saturday night.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're sitting at dinner, and I get the message, and I was like, oh, my God.
We went nuts.
Well, yeah. Why would you?
It was almost like the Pittsburgh Penguins winning the Stanley Cup against the Red Wings. No, I'm
That is too funny. That is funny.
But,
hey, guys. I don't ever smoke in the house, but everybody's sleeping, so shh.
Sorry.
I was like, I'll just go back in the room. Can you guys discuss any of the other locations that you guys have done with the TV series? Or maybe ish it?
We'll discuss one more. Jamie, we'll let you pick one since I discussed, Walton and Traverse City Opera House.
Okay. Well, since it's Halloween time, we'll give them a shout out. It's getting to be Halloween time. They just opened their attraction there, but we'll give a shout out to the Kingsley Ghost Farm in Kingsley. We did investigate there. They do have a really awesome haunted attraction that they do from September 28th through the end of October.
Yeah.
And so it's very cool. It's they have lots of hauntings that they've found out that
there's also an Indian burial on the grounds there. So.
Oh wow.
It's a pretty cool location. It's good.
And also, I get the shit scared out of me. Probably one of the most scariest moments of my career.
That he did.
Really?
Yeah, I accidentally backed in. I was walking backwards and didn't realize there was a chair behind me, and I tripped over it and it scared the crap out of me.
That is funny.
Kind of like Gateway Paranormal and their spider incident.
It was funny because he was just walking back, tripped over it, and he was like, wow! Me and Zach just died. We couldn't even keep it together.
Well, the pigs in that one pig pen out there.
Yeah.
Zach and I were walking back there, and the pig hit a metal bucket. It scared the crap out of me. It wasn't one of the broadcasts, so it's like one of those could be on the blooper reel.
But it's a good attraction to check out too. They have a really good.
Yeah.
They have a really good.
There's a few of them up here. They have one at the Anchor End too. Yep. Anchor End holds one there, and there's also Screams in the Dark, where they hold the Northwest Michigan Fair up there in the fairgrounds there in Blair Township in Traverse City. We're trying to get into the fairgrounds there for investigation. They were really interested, Northwest Michigan Fair, so we're trying to get in there and do an event sometime next year.
For sure.
We're trying to get a hold of them and then invite a few other paranormal teams around here in the state of Michigan to attend that, or anywhere for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys,
that's me raising my hand.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that while we were at the fair, one of the carnies actually had his own team in Michigan too. So he was like,
neat.
really, he's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm talking to another paranormal team. This is weird. And he was like all excited.
Where
That
was
is
he?
neat.
Was he in Kent County?
I think so.
I think he said he was in Kent County, but we talked to Ken Decker out there too. He's a pretty cool guy. He just got started, and we're meeting all these new ones are getting interested in the field, and it's really cool because it's it feels like how I started out.
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago. It's like a walk back down memory lane. How I started. I love helping others.
Oh, well,
That's
yeah.
what the community helped me with. I looked at I looked at the ones that I looked up to. Matt Fiole there, and I looked up to Bill Reap and Chris Houston. Justin Brown and all of them guys that that really well known names, Nick Riggs, Dave Miller. I've been watching all these guys since day one, and now they're watching me helping all these new teams out like they did with me. It's pretty great.
Right.
I went through a hard time with EPS, and they all helped me through it, especially Matt Fiole being a team leader like him.
Yeah, for sure.
I really looked up to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of great and humble people in this field.
Yeah.
I've learned that.
George Schuppel and Carlos Schuppel out there in California, they're awesome.
Okay.
He taught me how to downsize my hat. Boiling a hat.
That is
I
funny.
hope he watches this recording because he'd be like, yes.
Hey, have you guys ever investigated the Willis house?
No, and probably
for good reasons.
Now.
Oh.
For good reasons now.
Even though some of the people are our friends.
Oh, they all are our friends.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them. So
There's just parts of Michigan that we don't. I mean, because
Okay.
we have
respect.
Yeah.
Respect. We don't want to step on their toes in a way.
Right.
and here's what I don't
Due
like.
to unfortunate circumstances.
I love going to these big haunted locations, but we try to find new.
And when
good-
it comes
Yes.
to us putting public investigations on, we don't like charging $50 or anything like that. We either, if we know them really well and they're a paranormal team, free.
Right.
Or if it's anybody in the public due to liability, we have to charge like $10, $15.
Right.
And then they sign Explorer's waiver program with our team
Yep.
due to liability reasons and everything. And if there's any misuse of the equipment, that's where that money goes to, is like an insurance type of thing to use our
sure.
equipment.
Yeah, we like finding new big locations, and I don't like doing the haunted ghost tours.
I don't. Yeah.
We went on one. It was more of a history tour in Kalamazoo. We actually did just come back from, me and Amanda, from the Willis house because we went with Scar Encounters. They invited us along.
Amanda Lewis is awesome.
I know. It's gotten her. Their whole team is. We met the 2 new members, and then Carrie, their medium, and they're just great to work with too. If you guys ever get the opportunity, for sure.
We're all gonna have to hit each other up for next summer and plan something. Us,
sure.
guys, and Amanda Lewis's team,
And Misty Mitten.
and Miss Minton.
Everybody has
And
Misty
we've got connections into getting Ohio State Reformatory, Westwood Elementary
Okay.
there in Ohio. And pretty much anywhere. Hinsdale House too. I mean, we can get Hinsdale. But
that would be fun to all get together and do something like that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see the way that other people investigate, and you learn new techniques. You learn,
I learned from everybody. And like I said,
everybody does it different.
Yeah.
Right. And like I say, I get people that are wanting to start out in the field. Like, Daniel, how do we get involved in this? And it's like, do your own thing, man. Do your own thing. Have fun with it. Just know it can get costly, and there's haters out there, and just don't let it bring you down. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, pretty much. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt. They can't tell you cannot give up a hobby that you love doing.
Right, exactly.
This is pretty much what we do. You consider it a job, but it's mainly a hobby. Nobody can take that away from you.
It is. For the very select few, it's a job you get paid for. It's a hobby. That's what I explain to people. They're like, why would you do that? I'm like, well, why do you go sit on a boat and not catch a fish for 5 hours and spend thousands of dollars? I mean,
beer and have some fun and wait till that sun goes down underneath the trees.
well, I'm just saying. But it's no different. I enjoy fishing, but it's just, you know, you're not guaranteed anything. You're out there for the experience and the relaxing of it. And, you know, that's why I stop at cemeteries all the time. I find them beautiful and I find them relaxing.
Jamie and I try to do the traditional ways and, you know, try to get out there certain Sundays, you know, have a picnic and visit, you know, do what we did back in the day.
Yeah.
We did the cemeteries when we came back from Seven Gables Road. Okay. Here's what my Google was weird that day, and it's very cool, but it was eerie now that you think about it. Yeah. So we were down in Dansville. It's a over a 4-hour drive from us.
Right.
Google it on the way back,
Freaking
and it took
nutty.
us the back roads, like no freeways, nothing, the whole trip, and it just took us down these back roads, all these little
farmland. It'd be open. The next thing you know, a freaking cemetery would be like, boom.
A big,
right there, it's like,
cemetery.
What the heck? Where'd it come from? It's like, it's up there.
Our 4-hour drive took us about 7 to get home.
Wow. Yeah.
Like this the whole way. I was afraid she was going to hit something. I was like, whoa.
Yes. That was Amanda and I when we went to Amanda from my group, not
right
from SCAR, but when we were driving over there on Saturday, we stopped at many cemeteries. Where it was like, why are you leaving so early? We got stops to make, people. If I'm out on the road doing an investigation or going somewhere to do with the paranormal, you better believe that I'm stopping at these cemeteries. We actually ended up at the Soup Cemetery, which was
we were wanting to go there.
Phenomenal. We didn't even realize where we were until afterwards. And we actually, another group was there. And they were coming back, they were staking out and getting their baseline pictures and everything during the day. And they had seen our shirts and we seen theirs. Well, they came up and approached us or whatever. And we got talking to them or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're investigating here tonight. You know, you guys can come back and, you know, help us out or whatever. And we're like, damn it. We got a different investigation, but we for sure want to go back there. Like I said, we stumbled upon it. It wasn't.
That was on my list of to-dos this year for the witch projects.
It is so cool. I posted some pictures on our Facebook page of that cemetery.
Yeah, we were gonna go there, and it was like one of those things where we happened to find out that we're gonna be part of the Truth or Legends production in like spring. It was like we had it planned over the winter because we tried to plan our schedule over the winter.
Yeah,
for sure. We wanted to do a witch hunt. We wanted to do it like themes like 1 year witch hunting, next year abandoned houses, murders. You know, do the Egg Bean investigation, do the H.H. Holmes, not J.J. H.H. Holmes, J.J. Holmes, Lizzie Borden, you know, and all them. We're going to want to do that, but it was like one of those things where, you know, this happened spur of the moment, and we had no idea about it. So.
Well, yeah. It's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're super excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
Nervous, excited.
It's a big opportunity. I mean, we've been working our asses off, and nobody really realizes. You know, I mean, we got a deadline date till October to send over our evidence, and it's like, you know, you think it's really
like taking pictures and evidence, and you're like, oh, this is, you know, we do this all the time.
And it's like we got to go back.
But when you're doing
that's
it for
not the hard part. The hard part is going through it all.
Yeah, and then you have to find 30 good minutes of coverage from that investigation where your audio's good, your lighting's good, your evidence is pretty good, and then you're like...
And we're this new team that's caught in the middle, and it's like, you know, we don't have the right type of equipment, and we've been purchasing it slowly but surely as our filming process is going on. But you see it's coming out of our own pockets, and you see all the others, you know, that's got, you know, their Sony, Nikon, and Nikon J5 7000 infrared night vision, heat vision cameras and stuff. You know, it's like you know, we don't have the thousands of dollars to put into that.
Can I tell you what I did? I'm gonna tell you anyway. Okay, so I have one IR camera. I got it on Amazon. Well, I left it up at my mom's cabin. They got a cabin up in Mesick over by Cadillac. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area. Yeah. So,
Mushroom Festival.
yes, exactly. So here I am turning my house upside down for like 2 weeks looking for this camera because I wanted to take it to the Willis house. I'm like, I can't just show up there without my IR camera. Like, come on now. Like, that's my baby. Like that's, I saved for that camera. That's my baby. So I get online and I find this video recorder for $30. Okay. So I go look at it. I'm like, this is old school. It is. It's one of those old school. It's got the little VHS's tapes.
Yeah.
But it was new enough. But it was new enough to have the memory card slot too. But I shit you not, the best IR I have ever seen with no attachments. My $30 old school camera, and I could drop that thing off.
That's what I got. And that works great. And what I do with that is I'll set that little bad boy right across the room from me when I'm doing it. And this is what I do. I don't like using that in our filming, but we're able to do it. But I just may put a little bit of film that's involved with that into the show because we got permission to do it, but to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Okay. For that, we can use one. But what I use it for is mainly for, educational purposes for myself.
Oh, for sure.
My education on EVPs and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I place that camera right across the room from me, and I sit at my chair against the wall. I never sat in the middle of a doorway. That's too scary. I won't do that. But anyway, I'll sit in the other corner across from me, and I'll just do my EVP session and have that camera rolling. Maybe put something in the middle, like a static pod or something, and just do my thing, and I watch that, and and that's how I learn.
Well, yeah. So you don't need. A lot of people think you need to go out and spend all that money, and you really don't. Is it cool too? Yeah, if you got the money to do it, but.
My training started out with a compass and a stud finder.
And I'll tell anybody this is starting out. Your best bets, if you're going to invest any kind of money into any equipment, your camera and your lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting is about the only thing that makes a world of difference.
Oh yeah.
I recommend lighting from Ghost Stop and Dead Light, but if you're on a budget,
Ghost Stop. They make a good full spectrum lighting.
We got a red light and we got a dually IR full spectrum lighting from Ghost Stop, and it works great. Right, but we also got Dead Light from Josh Bender, and it's Necro 40 watt, 15 watt white light IR Necro light, and it's really awesome.
Nice.
And it works really great. And on my rig, I got mounted on there 2 other UV lights to go with our stack.
The rest of the stuff is just fun. The REM pods and all that's just fun, but the lighting and the cameras.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. When it comes to it comes later on in your journey.
I love how you said compass. People look at me like I'm crazy, and at our first event that we hosted, I did a giveaway. And I put a millimeter in there, a flashlight with our stuff on it, a T-shirt, but I threw in a compass. And why'd you do that?
It's pretty funny how people would say that. Why the hell are you throwing a compass in there? It's the best damn tool you can use in the field.
It is. And if you break it, if you lose it, you're not going, oh my God.
It got my ass out of a situation one time at my cousin's farm when I was investigating my cousin's farm because his property is dated 1800s old. Okay. And it's under my family. And his property, we were out in the cornfield out there where there's a lot of activity at. And my compass was going bonkers, okay? And I'd walk a different location and it would stop. And it was like, and when it would go circling like that, I'd keep going to it. It was like there was a spirit leading me somewhere, but it was leading me to the woods, and in the woods there, I don't think was pretty safe. Because it's been said that there's been like occults and satanic worshiping going on like
They get dark.
a mile down the road or something like that, not on the property, but like I say, I don't think there's something really good in those in the outer perimeter of his property.
Okay.
Because his property got pine trees around it, but
it just gets dark. Like
it just gets dark. It's
dark.
It's weird kind of dark.
Yeah.
And we go out there to continue our education. It's like one of those things we don't need to close this case. It's like it improves every time on us.
Yeah.
I actually caught my first orb and full-bodied apparition out there. I don't show it to very many people. I don't show my evidence to very many people due to respect. People have their beliefs on that. So, I mean, if you want to see that stuff, I tend to do it privately or show it face-to-face, pretty much due to respect. And like I said, people have their beliefs on orbs, but, after this photograph I took, I believe in orbs faithfully. It's, all due to your personal experience.
Believe in orbs. I'm an orb person. And I know when I'm filming the difference between double
and don't let her disguise affect you, because she is the biggest skeptic on the face of this earth, and she's a clear.
That's funny.
I'm a skeptic only because I want to be sure. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I want
You're
to be
a skeptic
sure
believer. I'm the same way. I'm a skeptic believer. My co-host on the podcast. She's my stepmom. She's a medium. She does that's one thing she does for a living. And she's very much a believer. And that's actually how we got started with the podcast, because I'd go over there and we'd talk. I'd ask her questions, and I was like, everybody needs a Mary. I was like, let's start a podcast. I had somebody that I could ask questions to, and she didn't look at me like I was stupid because I didn't know, and vice versa. I respect her beliefs, and she respects mine, and it's a journey. We're on this venture together.
Yeah, and I'm not a skeptic like, I don't think they exist. No, that's not it.
You just want proof.
See something. I see something.
It upsets me when she does that.
But when I see something or when something happens, I debunk it from every single angle that you could ever debunk it from. Like I'm super anal about it, and it gets Daniel because he's like, don't say I don't. You don't trust me. I'm like, I trust you. I want to know.
Well, you're trying to rationalize it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's understandable. There's ways of getting around it.
Tensions do rise. I mean, there's one client case that we had, our team, we're pretty much a family. And it's pretty hard to break our family bond with each other, but we were at a client residential case in Kingsley. And, this is one of the biggest eye-opening moments in my career. We're doing a client residential case. Because it's on a property dated 1800s itself. It's an old farmhouse.
Right.
And there was a lot of activity that night going on there. And it's on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, some of that investigation on there. But I'm telling you, whatever negative energy that was there that night, try to break our team up, because Jamie and I were bumping heads like crazy.
And that's why the clients got a hold of us.
I was bumping heads with our lead investigator at the time, Cody. And it was like him. I was telling him, I mean, we're getting hostile with each other. And it was like one of those things where, we had to go for a break outside. And then that's when we all grouped. That's where you got to get the group together. And Jamie and I being team leaders, like, when we were bumping heads in there, it was like, eventually you got to, things like that can happen.
Yes, you got to step out and ground yourself.
And that's what we did. And the thing about that was, we told the client that next day. I blurted. Jamie didn't want me to say nothing.
Wait. Stop before you get to that part. The clients called us there because this is the important factor there. The clients called us there because the father and the children were experiencing a lot of negative things happening.
Okay.
The 16 waking up in the middle of the night with nosebleeds and seeing things hovering above his bed and feeling like he was being pinned. And the dad was seeing shadow figures. The dog didn't want to go upstairs.
The daughter was experiencing negativity in her life.
The daughter was horrible.
Oh, she was horrible.
She was crying and upset, and she
looked pale.
She would just lash out at people for no reason. And so the mother, which wasn't the children's mother, it was their stepmother, their real mother had died, did not believe. But she trusted her family and allowed her family to get a hold of us.
Right, okay.
So we came there, and like Daniel was saying, it's a 125-year-old farmhouse. During our walkthrough, and the client was so open with this, they let us air everything. During our walkthrough with them, a door slammed. And the mother just kind of looked, and
this is what happens.
The mother looked at us and said, okay, well, that's kind of hard for me to be a skeptic about. And by the end of our investigation and, our follow-up with them, the mother actually does believe.
It was like one of those things where we went back there and told them that, whatever was in this house, they tried splitting us up because we were bumping heads with each other last night, and we're going to let you know that. I mean, you might have, it was like one of those things. Jamie didn't want me to say nothing to the client because she didn't think it was right, but I thought it was because I want to tell the client everything about that investigation.
Well, right, you thought it was relevant to the case.
100%. I thrive on 100% accuracy.
Exactly.
As close, but when it comes to honesty, I got to be 100% on it. And not a lot of people realize that with me. I was born and raised on being the most honest person in my life and being as loyal as possible. And I told the client, I was like, "It tried breaking us up," and she says, "Well, I'm glad you said that because I wouldn't have believed you guys. I said you guys are full of shit if you didn't say otherwise." And that is soon, like I said, after that, they gave us big hugs, said thank you for providing peace in our home because it did. When you get that stuff, we've had,
it makes it worth it.
They're our biggest fans now. All of them are.
Yeah.
The son, they're huge fans of us. So, and we changed their life, and they know we changed their life, and that was, that was an awesome feeling to have. Knowing that
sure.
This is what we do, and we help people, and they're still grateful to this day. They still like and share and follow us and support us and back us, and.
Sure. That's a good story. That not story, experience. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. Well, pretty much both in a way, because it's in the past, so pretty much it would be a story.
That would be super
yeah,
scary for a family.
It was an eye-opening experience in a client case, and like I said, it's one of those things I do think back sometimes, and you ain't a man if you don't do so, but I do bawl my eyes sometimes thinking about it because it's one of those things that has been a really big eye-opener for me in my career. It's like, it's not, is it PTSD that you get in the fire department?
Yes. You can get it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It pretty much like that, in a way. But,
yeah.
But we've had haunted doll cases. So, we've had things of that when you think a haunted doll would be negative and it wasn't.
Right.
And people throwing out there, okay, so I believe in orbs, but demons I have yet to even think about believing in.
And my thought on that, Mr. Zach Baggins, because everything is a demon with him.
Yeah.
And that is why we are here.
I think if they do show themselves, it's very rare that they do. I believe that there are demons or very bad entities, maybe not even demons, but I think it's rare for them to show themselves to where we could be like, oh wow, that really is a demon. Holy shit,
I stayed in the Vatican basement.
Stop.
That's what they say, isn't it? Isn't that what the news says?
Oh my God, Daniel.
No.
Isn't that what the news says?
So Zach Bagans to the point where I think he's funny. I think the whole show is funny, great. They have some good experiences.
They do, and he's a very handsome guy. He's very Hollywood, though. He's very Hollywood now. And we actually, funny joke, you guys might not find it funny, but I know Amanda listens and she's going to laugh because this is kind of her story. When we were at the Willis House investigations, we were kind of in and out of their conversation because we get funny and crazy when we're together, especially in the middle of the night. And somebody said something about a demon, and she peeps up and she says, Zach Baggins says what? And they're looking at her like, that's crazy. Oh my God. I laughed so hard. She's like, you're the only one that gets my humor. So now when anybody pisses us off, we're like, Zach Baggins say what?
Yeah. So we post
inside joke
up in our group of Zach and Aaron all the time. So we
it's pretty much Zach and I on our team. You know, Zach is Zach, but I'm pretty much Aaron. And like I say again, you know, when one woman needs to go to the damn bathroom, they all gotta go, and leave us guys, and it's only me and Zach now.
It used to be just you.
Yeah. When one woman needs to go to the bathroom, they all go, and it's just Zach and I. We always get left in hot zone for some reason. It's pretty like.
But yes, so I don't believe in demons. I do believe that the negative energies exist because if you think about it rationally, if somebody was a serial killer, when they die, do you think their personality is going to change? No. Aren't they going to still be and evil and vindictive and anything? And you're going to go, it's a demon.
They're going to be dark. They're just dark.
If they committed suicide, they would go through a depression state. You know, how treated, you know, before they did what they did to them, you know, there's going to be a lot of negativity.
Because let me just share this. Let me share this with you. And I've only shared this story with a couple people. It's a very scary story. Very scary. I lived in a small town called Tower, Michigan. And we moved into this house. And this house was, my kids were, you know, in their teens. This house was gorgeous.
As a strange mist goes through.
I had 4 bedrooms. I had a mother-in-law house out to the back. It had a paved driveway. It had 2 pole barns, $600 a month. Okay, the town, of course, you know, the town's not that great. You got to drive to go to do things, whatever. Right. So we moved in there, and my kids are all open to this because it's been in their lives forever. My boyfriend at the time was not at all. Like, don't talk about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Nothing. So we moved into this house, and the landlord's telling us, oh, the wiring's all been replaced. The hot water heater's been replaced, this and that. It's all brand new. Okay. Well, the first week we lived there, all the electricity in the living room started going out. We started having to run cords into the living room to make our stuff go. So we told the landlord about it, and he came over, and he can't figure out what's going on. So he's going to hire an electrician. The second week, the water heater goes out. For no known reason. The landlord's like, it's only a few months old. They don't understand what's going on.
Right.
The third week, the stove goes out. And my boyfriend at the time was an electrician, plumber, heater, you know, like a HVAC kind of guy.
Yeah.
He turned the electricity off at the pole, turned the electricity off in the house, and was going to replace the stove the proper way.
I'm trying to get my camera angle right.
He unplugged it, plugged it back in, and got a 220 shot. Yeah. So then he was like, okay, that was kind of freaky. I'm kind of freaking out right now. So then him and his 2 friends were in the basement. None of them believe in anything. They don't want to listen to me or hear me. They're standing there one night in the basement, and the basement looks, the corner of the basement looks like a scene out of Saw.
Oh my God.
It's that bad down there. The one light never goes off. We couldn't find a switch for it in the back corner. Didn't know why it stayed on, but it always stayed on. And they're down there, and we have some shelves that were above the washer and dryer, and we're keeping our stuff up there.
Right.
The VCR started flying off the shelf at him. Him and his friends came out of that basement so quick. Like, what the just happened to me? We don't even, like, they're pale, they're sweating, they're freaking out. And I started getting really sick for no reason. I started getting fevers and stomach aches and cramps, and I got to I got to the point after about a week, so I couldn't even get out of bed. He had to help me out of bed and get me out of the house every day. So I told my friends, because I had a group of friends I could go to, I said, we need to clean this house. We need to cleanse this house. There's something there that's masking itself from me, not letting me see it, because I can see and talk to spirits, and it's not letting me. My children are experiencing things in their room, things moving, loud knocks, bangs, stuff, all over the house. We gotta do something. Well, cleansing it didn't work. Putting a bubble up around it didn't work. Put the white shields around it, that didn't work. So finally, I said, "Fuck this. We're moving. I don't care where we go. We're getting them." And my kid, my youngest at the time was 9, and I've never seen, they were like 9, 14, 15, 16. Never seen these children move so fast in your life as to pack this moving van and get us the hell out of there.
Her son is the biggest skeptic I know, and when he tells me that he's seen his mom floating on the bed about 3 feet off the bed, I believe it, because he's the biggest skeptic when I talk about it. So
yeah,
wow.
He witnessed this twice, and it would literally feel like, how when you fall asleep sometime and you feel like you're floating or flying up and stuff? That's what this felt like, but I couldn't control it. I could see, I could hear, but I couldn't talk or move. And I felt like I was looking down upon myself.
Actually, it's like one of those where Jimmy explained the story to me, but it like we were talking about, certain things that Zach Bagans does when it comes to demonic activity and all that stuff. But Kenny brought it right up.
Yeah.
It was like out of the blue, and I never thought, he would bring it up, but Kenny brought it up. Said, he said, you tell me that, don't you think it's scary to see your mother floating 3 feet above on the bed, just watching her floating? I mean, what would you do if you walked in the bedroom not realizing that you're going to, not realizing that's what you're going to see?
So, yeah. So we got the hell out of Dodge. Everybody was in a fight. We were all on each other's throat. We were yelling, we were screaming, we were hollering, calling each other names. It was a horrible, 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 horrible day. Just horrible. And so while we were we had an RV in the driveway. That was our RV. We were packing that up and trying to get it out of there. It had a brand new battery in it, and it was dead.
Oh no.
My boyfriend's friend Jamie, his car died in the 25 minutes he was there. And so we get 2 loads. We get a load packed. I have to sit in the truck down the driveway out of the drive because I cannot be anywhere near this house. It's making me physically ill to be near this house. And we come back for the last load, and Ed and Jamie go up to the house, my boyfriend, who is not a believer, to get the rest of the stuff in the kitchen. The kitchen was the only part that wasn't packed. Every pot and pan in my house was stacked in the middle of the kitchen floor to the ceiling.
Oh, my God.
Ed said, F this. You can keep these pans. I'm
they're yours.
So that night we went to his friend Jamie's grandma's house because she was out of town for a couple of weeks, and she said we could stay there for a couple nights until we figured out what we were going to do. And I guess according to everybody around, and there was skeptics around, I just laid on the bed, and Ed thought at one point that I was dead. He said my breathing was shallow, I was pale, sweating, and he said he didn't know what to do. He just started praying to God and praying and praying.
Gosh.
And then everybody in the house started praying with him. And he said he just cried and prayed and cried and prayed. And he said that I was literally coming off of the bed and down. Not very far, but enough where you can physically see me coming off of the bed and down. And he said he just kept praying. And he said finally about, I don't know, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning or so, I opened my eyes and I started crying. And he said he just grabbed a hold of me and hugged me. And I don't remember this time frame. I'm not saying it was demonic, but I'm saying something was really evil, really bad, really negative in that house. And some of these experiences that, Zach Bagans and everyone else tells about demons, it's not, if that was ever a demon in that house, if it was ever, anything that possessed me, these stories are not right, because you can be possessed and never know it.
Right.
Until to that point where you're that sick.
Right.
And it's scary. And I told Daniel, I said, someday I want to face that house.
Yeah.
This whole town, when you drive into this town, the town has nothing but a black cloud over the top of it. And it's not a very big town. But
so Ryan, Bill, if you hear this from Paranormal State, we need you.
He's my all-time favorite.
Aww.
He's actually a guy I've talked to him a couple times.
Oh, okay. So, guys, I don't want to cut this short, but I do, because 4 a.m. comes early. But I will for sure have you guys on again. I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
We did too.
It was fun. It just sucks. I wanted to do it Sunday, but I was just completely worn out. It's much better when it's a day that nobody's got to work.
Right.
Because then we could just sit and have and just have a good time. She's so funny.
Right.
So, thank you guys for being my co-host today. Appreciate it. We do have an event. Yes. We do have an event coming up on November 2nd. It's at the Eagles in Woodland, Michigan.
Cool.
So, you guys are more than welcome out. Wait, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. We haven't posted anything on Facebook yet. Like I said, I'm like a week to 2 weeks behind in everything that I need to do. So that will be coming out because we are. All right. Well, we are investigating that location a couple weeks prior. The members of that, the Eagles want to know what we find. So we're going to do a dinner and then do a reveal of what we've found. Since it is right after Halloween, we're going to have a costume contest and raffles and all that fun jazz too. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, don't forget to email us at paranormalxl@writemeat.com. And remember, don't yuck someone else's yum ever. Anything else you guys want to say before we sign off? You guys are laughing at me. That's my sign off.
That is so fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun when we're getting our investigation. This is great.
So is there anything?
Stay tuned this month, guys, for our big location reveal. It's huge.
Yeah, we don't want to reveal location until we got a date set up. It is. I want to say it is confirmed, or we're like 99%.
We're just waiting on a date, right?
We're just waiting on a date and a response back. But like as I say again, there's only been one other team to investigate the location. They were just recently aired on Travel Channel here not too long ago.
Okay.
And as I say again, we'll reveal that when we do that. And where you would look for that would be on our Connections group page, as well as Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers Facebook page. So just stay page. And Saturday, we're going to be at Mini Paracon in Alpena.
Awesome. I will link all that in the show notes and on our Facebook page for the listeners that are interested.
Awesome.
So we will talk to you guys next time. This